months that I was there, we were able to register significant and tangible results. We have managed to create a robust relationship and participation with the private sector, roundtables to discuss issues. And based on that, I was appointed to chair the Business Reforms Action Plan with a timeline of 3 months. We met many stakeholders. We have a catalog, a whole menu of what issues are ailing industry, especially regarding the... We were able to have trade and business forums in various countries where we showcased Kenya as an investment destination. And I saw the rankings that were released in the last few months. Kenya was rated as the best destination for investment in 2024. We attracted a lot of stuff. On the question of competitiveness of our tourism sector, Mr. Chairman, I would say that we have room for improvement. And the reason I say this, competitiveness is measured not only in terms of monetary value, but what services go with it, and what products that we have. We know that for a long time, Kenya has been known for its beaches, that tourism, but we can do better in local tourism. But when you start that discussion, many Kenyans feel the hotels are expensive, other tourist attractions are expensive, and therefore there is quite a lot of room for us to position Kenya and rethink our strategies so that we are competitive in terms of monetary, in terms of product, in terms of service, and everything else that goes with tourism, including digitalization. As I was preparing to appear before this committee, Mr. Chairman, I did meet with the ministry officials, I did meet with the sector, and had a discussion with Narok County. And I want to share with you the information I gathered, that there was a strategy, tourism strategy 2021-2025, that was formulated with the participation of all the stakeholders. Some of the findings in that strategy and that work that was done, of the rates that are applicable, so that there are enough finances to develop Masai Mara, to maintain it, to modernize it, and do all that appertains to make it more sustainable. These rates, the revised rates, were to be implemented and were actually implemented from January 2024. But to clarify that the new rates that were implemented were actually slightly lower than what the strategic plan had recommended. And therefore, the rates were implemented from January 2024. The data...
We went back to the same ministry to ask. I can tell you for sure they are colluding. Just take your own independent research and find out exactly what is happening in the Masai Mara Park.
There's a comment. Bosin, anything? Kikaria?
Chairman, recently I've seen so many transfers of game reserves, national parks, from the national government to the management of counties.
How many apart from Amboseli?
Okay, let me say that one, Amboseli. Now, is there a policy guideline on how these
nominee, let's take one more, probably two more, and try and give short answers, short and clear. Mary?
Thank you, Chairman. Mine is also one and very short, and I'm picking it from the statement from the nominee that Kenyans feel hotels are expensive, and I can't agree with you. I agree with you totally. Hoteliers have expressed concerns over the multiplicity of taxes, including tourism levy, housing levy, VAT, NSSF, income tax, payee, NHIF, trade license for counties, and
Mr. Speaker, there is the compensation of wildlife cases. This is a comment. You need to, if you are confirmed, you need to look at it, because it has stayed a long time and the paperwork is not the best. But what I want you to look at, the first thing is Section 35(2) of the Wildlife Conservation and Management Act. It needs to be relooked vis-a-vis the county governments, because in Meru, and I believe it may have happened somewhere else, the county government went and demolished one of the lodges
of national parks should be handled. Mr. Chairman, if approved, and I get into this docket, the list of priorities is forming up and it's becoming clear, so that we have clear policy directions and guidance, and that will enable actions to move much faster and with clarity, avoiding disputes and other issues that at times derail processes, make them take much longer. And I will promise, if approved, I will be able to look at this as a priority. On hotels, licenses, and levies, there is existence between the conservation areas and our tourism. The conservation areas have realized that many of the issues that face many industries, including the tourism industry and sector, all are due to lack of enough clarity in procedures, in regulations and processes. Mr. Chairman, if approved, just like I have done in my other assignments, I promise to bring a lot of clarity streamline processes so that we get efficiency.
On nominee, my thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
I'll go straight to the point. The questions asked by Honorable Baya on Ronald Ngala Utalii College. I am informed that the college, the infrastructural work and buildings are about 85%. The month of October, most of the work will be completed. I am glad that that is the information that is coming up to show that eventually the Ronald Ngala Utalii College will become operational and offer the very much needed training after many, many years. I will follow up in case I am approved to ensure that the timelines that have been given are adhered to, because I have seen robust access. For example, for our tourism, if we are in various destinations and bring our visitors and tourists to Kenya with much ease, easy accessibility, then we will not have a debate that is seemingly emotive, but be able to attract as many arrivals with ease. I'm also aware that before COVID, we had airlines that had access to some of our airports, and especially in Mombasa. I do believe there is merit in working with those. That is the way to go. On the question of the cost of entry of the game parks and the national parks and the increase, Mr. Speaker, there was a strategy by stakeholders that recommended some of these changes. But I want to say from the word go in the affirmative, I will respect Parliament. My record speaks for itself. Whenever invited to Parliament or communication with stakeholders to put this matter to rest. Again, clarity and efficiency of policies, the robustness of them will help faster execution of the work plans and be able to move this country forward. In terms of human-wildlife conflict, yes, I'm aware that there was a strategy that was formulated.
Point of order, Honorable Chairman.
No.
Honorable Chairman, my point of order, I just want to tell our nominee that when you are going to involve the stakeholders, don't forget the local communities and the tour operator, because on this issue, they want
to help the situation. And so this is one of that will be a focus area in case I am approved, together with the suggestion or the comment on attracting new corridors for the animals. And Mr. Chairman, this docket is starting to be very exciting, looking at what lies ahead, what as a country we can do to make it robust. And if there are any other manifestos or later manifestos are written, Kenya will not be punching below its weight. And that will help us to have increased our tourists, conserved our wildlife better, increased our foreign exchange earnings.
Honorable B. So what are you telling the community around? Do you see that you have to give us back to the county this side so that we can do more and more to attract tourists? Thank you, Honorable Chairman.
Rahab, do you have anything? You'll pass. Ramisi?
Mr. Speaker, I have some information on, I've been sent by a senior citizen on touching on nominees' credibility. So I'm requesting if you allow me to read, maybe she can respond or clear the air, though it maybe is not. In the modern times has gone through a lot of innovations. There are different sustainability measures on the tourism, but in this country, we are just on Masai Mara, coast, beaches, and all that. If you look at the statistics on why people go to Singapore, for example, they don't have all those natural resources that we do. But it's about innovation, modernizing tourism. That is some aspect that I have not seen in this ministry. We are on the traditional, tired, we are not innovating on it. What is this new things we are going to see from your ministry going forward? Thank you.
Are found in the arid and semi-arid lands, 70% of the livestock, most tourist attractions, conservancies, and this is one of the frontiers of development in this country. And having worked in that ministry, the policies that we were putting in place, discussing with all stakeholders, and especially development partners, of how to shift the conversations from the traditional conversations of how to support these areas in terms of drought, but to bring real development and have contribution to GDP much more improved. But on some of the strategic sources of incomes and activities, working together with the relevant ministries, the Ministry of EAC, Ministry of Water, Agriculture, a whole of government approach, we continue giving focus on the potential of the arid and semi-arid lands, because these are lands that are very well endowed with resources and many other advantages. On the question of the coast, I want to commit that working together with the counties, we should work on identifying the niche tourist attractions, be able to form a circuit of the coastal counties so that when our visitors come, they have a full experience, be able to take advantage of what our coast has to offer. We need to have good infrastructures, our hotels in good order, more investments in hotels and other tourist infrastructure. We continue to make our coast area as a premier and best tourist destination. Mama Ngina. We need to work together with the purpose of getting maximum benefits, increased tourism, increased earnings, something that will just blow that region into economic activities and to success. And therefore, reason together, consult with the counties and see the formula and the strategy that will achieve maximum benefit for this installation. May I respond to the question by Honorable Hamisi about the heritage? Again, we continue saying in terms of tourism, Kenya is punching below its weight. The country, a lot of revenue that we used to have and marketing Kenya as a destination.
What was the problem when under the East African community, we have a protocol on free movement of people, goods, and services?
Mr. Chairman, I'll say it's a non-tariff barrier, but we will get the real issues and be able to resolve what it is and open up again this niche market of affording countries that are landlocked with opportunities to experience the beauty of the beaches and have memorable functions, anniversaries, and all that. But on the issues, on what we can do to spur our tourism in the world, in use of social media and use of technology. If we convert such abilities and rankings to sell our country for tourism, I think we will take this world by storm and attract a lot more tourism and a lot more visitors in Kenya by marketing aggressively. And when we sort our brand visibility, our visibility index,
them to where we want to be. You've also asserted that we can use alternative media like social media. You said we were ranked #1 in use of social media.
Yes.
So members are asking, is it use or misuse industry? And I said that in view of the good things that you know of that were supporting our manufacturing sector.
Is renowned for its exceptional athletes who compete on the international stage. If appointed, how do you plan to leverage their achievement to promote Kenya as a premier tourist destination? And you know, what what strategies would you implement to integrate sports marketing? There is sports marketing with tourism promotion to enhance our global reputation and attract more visitors. We have seen a cabinet secretary in the past use an international figure to market Kenya, while we have our athletes and we also have sports who can be used to market our country. Also, they are known, Honorable Junet, and they can run slow to accept change and technology, or was it implemented without good communication and without testing it first whether it works?
Chair, if I just a quick one. 1 minute. 1 minute.
You've had your share.
1 minute.
But you are allowing this
Order.
Let everybody will talk.
Speaker, that is Speaker, don't open that door, please.
From our electorate.
Yes, Owen.
Yeah.
Chair, I thought we had agreed one question.
Order, Speaker.
This is important. This is
I
important.
chose
Owen, order, members. Owen.
There, Honorable Speaker,
The only person who has had a
for the Asar area, and I expect Naisura to ask that question, because those women, they normally get that money so that we can empower them, but they are not getting any.
Are you going to continue using the conventional way of marketing Kenya, or what is your odd methods of branding the country?
She already said she will use social media beyond the conventional marketing tools.
Mr. Chairman, let me start with the question by Majority Leader, Honorable Kimani, about the branding, but start to clean occasionally. People taking a lot of time, having consultancies, when we have a youth that can turn around material, that can turn around content, that can be used. I will be taking it up with the ministry and see how we can accommodate this creativity towards increasing our branding and our marketing. And I think together with the private sector, we can use the positive social media communication in that regard. In terms of athletes, Mr. Chairman, the question asked by Honorable Naisula, it's very special that we have our athletes who is a pride of Kenya. We can position them as our tourism brand ambassadors, working with benefits of some of the marginalized communities. Like I responded in the earlier questions, it's to ensure that there is fair sharing of benefits, that their cultures are respected. We should explore opportunities to even have intellectual property rights so that we can respect and safeguard the usage of the cultures that those communities have to offer. I believe they need to activate, may not be clear, but I am aware that there is a lot of work going around to strengthen and to streamline the e-citizen platform, and I believe this will be one of our quick wins because it is digital and will hasten and make it efficient. In terms of the question about the power industry, Mr. Chairman, a brand, and what...
Talk about Ushanga.
About Ushanga initiative, Mr. Chairman, this docket is in the Ministry of Heritage, Culture and Arts. They will be much better suited.
I'm giving Jeanette because he didn't ask any questions. You already asked questions. Yes, Jeanette?
No, Mr. Speaker, I wanted to say that my constituency borders the Masai Mara. Mr. Speaker, for example, between the Mara and Serengeti, there is a lot of interconnection. The government sometimes, I don't know whether they are serious about tourism, because there is an airstrip in Migori which was tarmacked